Okay, here's a story called A Happy Tale. This was given to me by one of the parents of the school. There was once a young woman called Mabel who lived in a town on the side of a large island. Unhappily, Mabel had no house to live in. Happily, a friend named Charles, who lived in a town on the other side of the island, asked her to share his house with him. Okay, there we go. Unhappily, the town was a long way away, and Mabel had no money for the train fare. Happily, a friend called Maud, who was learning to be a pilot, offered to take Mabel in her aeroplane. Unhappily, Maud was not a very good pilot, and she tipped Mabel out in the middle of the island. Happily, Mabel noticed a large, comfortable haystack in a field below, and as she hurtled through the air. Unhappily, there was a pitchfork in the haystack. Happily, Mabel missed the pitchfork. Unhappily, she missed the haystack. Happily, Mabel landed in a pond. Unhappily, she couldn't swim. Happily, there was a farmer in the field. Unhappily, the farmer could not swim either. Happily, he managed to rescue Mabel with the pitchfork from the haystack. Unhappily, the bull who lived in the field did not like all this fuss. Happily, Mabel and the farmer managed to beat the bull to the fence and leap over it. Unhappily, they landed on a wasp's nest. Happily, Mabel was rather stout and she squashed the wasp's nest flat. Unhappily, she also squashed a farmer flat. Happily, the farmer and Mabel took a fancy to one another. Ooh. Unhappily, Mabel remembered that she was supposed to be joining Charles on the other side of the island. Happily, Maud and Charles had taken a fancy to one another. Ooh. So the story ended happily. Now, this is a writing story format that I'd like you to follow in your next writing activity, where you're going to write a happily and unhappily sort of series of events or a story where something begins, something begins, and it could be happily this happened, but unhappily that happened. But happily this happened, unhappily that happened. Happily this happened, unhappily that happened, as you work your way through a series of events. And it might just be that your story can begin with, happily, school was cancelled. Unhappily, I couldn't play with my friends because we were all supposed to stay at home. Happily, I was able to play with some of my new toys. Unhappily, so was my brother and sister because they were home because they couldn't go to school either. Happily, the weather outside was great, so we could go outside. Unhappily, the trampoline broke when we all jumped on top of it and it wouldn't work anymore. So you would keep on working through that, giving happily and unhappily examples in your writing and come up with your own happy, unhappy tale. Now, how you choose to end yours is up to you. You can decide if you're going to have the happily ending, which I like, or an unhappily ending. But you can choose to do that if you want. I would want you to put at least 5 sessions of happily, unhappily in, okay? So happily, unhappily, happily, unhappily, happily, unhappily, happily, unhappily, happily, unhappily. 5 different times of them both. So that's 10 altogether, okay? So my video is about to run out because I only get 5 minutes. So that is your assignment for writing on Monday. Get it done. And also please work on your other assignments. Thank you.